Welcome to the Drooniverse!
And good evening, fellow commanders, and welcome to the officially unofficial Elite Dangerous live stream. Now, we would normally do the thing that the thing that must be done, but I've got a small little furry fella, or furry lady, should I say, to introduce you this evening. This is Ember. This is the Space Doggers, isn't it? Hey, you're all a bit new to this, aren't you? You've got no idea what is going on. So, anyway. I'd introduce the Space Doggers. This is Ember. She is 11 weeks old, and she will probably be joining me on Space Adventures at some point. But she's still in training. She hasn't yet got her pilot's license. Uh, we'll see how we go. So there she is. Say hello, Ember. Hey, what's going on? No idea. No, you're very very well behaved considering it's first time in space. So there we go. She's a bit shy as well. Oh, well. Anyway, give me a moment. I will be back. We will do the thing. And but give me a moment just to settle her down. She needs to go back downstairs to a comfy spot. So no dog fighting on stream, no. Hang on a minute, my friends. I'll be back momentarily. Right. Space Doggers introduced, and all is good once more in the cockpit. Uh, she's been very good actually. She's an excellent doggess. So far, all is well in Dogland. So anyway, right, let's do the thing because the thing is the thing, and the thing must be done before we get too far out of sync with everything is. So who's first in the chat? It's Top Trot. In top place. Always good to see you up there, my friend. Thank you very much for popping in nice and early. Winter GB, of course, of course. Who else could it possibly be in second place? Well, it could be anybody, but it's Winter GB. This evening, the Pitman 42 is here as well. Good to see you. Thank you very much for popping in. Scrolling down, we have the Harkoonans sliding in with their invasion, poised and ready to go as ever. We have Sophie Sint going well, and if things are going well, if Sophie Sint going well is here, so that's always a good sign. The Arakises are here, fighting off the invasion to the Harkoonans as ever, which is always good to see. Invasion is never ever successful. Rob Commander Sabotage is also in the chat, and Eridan Dundragon is Dundragoning today. Good to see you as well. Cyber Army's here. Wishing everybody a good evening too, which is excellent news. The Pitman, by the way, has heard a conspiracy theory that Drew isn't streaming Elite anymore because FDev hired him to write upcoming story and he's avoiding the game. it's a good conspiracy theory. Like all good conspiracy theories, it's got absolutely no truth in it whatsoever. But hey, never mind. Apologies for that one. Commander Tragic Blue 21 is here as well. Good to see you. Who else do we have in the stream? Sleepy D Wagon Man. I may have already mentioned, but anyway, good to see you. With a hearty unicorn there, which I assume it's a unicorn, a purpley thing. Looks like a unicorn with an O7 salute. I think that's pretty much it. That's good. Commander Burner's here. The Rundown Titan has run down the Titans and is here as well. Enigma-ish is being Enigma-ish, as ever. Indescribably enigma-ish, which is good. Mad Monksoft is here, poised as ever on Wikipedia, just in case we need his sage counsel. SOW_golf is here as well. Good to see you. Thank you very much for popping in. The good order of Arg. Gronda is here. The hat is in place. The hat pin, of course, is where it's supposed to be as well. So yes, everything hopefully is aligned. Andy P783 is here as well. Good to see you. Commander Silent Double D here too. The Big Boo, always good to see you, Big Boo. Thank you very much for popping in. And the first time chat from Lord Wargrind, who enjoyed the intro, which it's well, it's an intro, isn't it? Some people like it, some people don't, and that's fine. Solstice Project is here as well, singing along with the intro, which he really enjoys, which is always good to see. Who else do we have? We need some more bagpipe. Well, obviously, there's never enough bagpipes, so we definitely need more of that. That's good. The Black Knight 7607 is here as well. The Kazakh is here as well. Good to see you. Thank you very much for popping in the Kazakh. Everybody's enjoying the dog. Flying Fuse is here as well. Good to see you. Thank you very much for that. The Space Dogging and Space Dogging. No, that's not right. Space Doggy. Sorry. Space Pup, like Space Pup actually. The collar is actually, it probably got a bit mucked up by the green screen there, but the collar is a sort of purpley kind of colour with a little name tag on it. It's quite good actually. A coup Paulet, exactly right. That's right. So thanks for that. Commander Mere Mortal is here as well. Good to see you. Who have I missed anybody else? I don't think I have. Ember is such a good name for a black lab. Well, it's really, she isn't a Labrador. She does, I admit, she does absolutely look like a Labrador. At least at the moment, she does. She isn't a Labrador, even remotely. She's a cross between. Let me get this right: a German Wirehead Pointer and a New Zealand Hunterway, which for some bizarre reason it appears to be how you make a Labrador, but that's not the case. Glenn is here. Glenn R. Frank, good to see you as well. Latty ___ is here as well. Good to see you. Thank you very much indeed. And yes, and so that was Ember. So yes, is that a new hatchery? It looks different. No, it's the same hat. The hat, unless it's developed its own corporeal existence and sentience itself, it hasn't evolved as far as I'm aware. But is the pin line? Well, it should be. Maybe I haven't put it on my head straight. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe on my head's. There we go. Is that better? Yes, maybe that's why we have all those hyperspace problems as my hat is out of alignment. Who knows? Blue Ganymede is here as well. Good to see you. Thank you very much indeed. Anyway, right, am I near the bottom of this chat yet? No, I'm not. I'm getting there. R1Z Daniel Vega is here as well. Good to see you. I think that's good. Yes, yes. I mean, there might be. Yeah, there's a lot of daylight coming in from this side of the room at the moment. So I've got a sideways illumination, which I can't do much about because daylight, and I haven't got a blind on that window at the moment. But it's a south-facing window, so at this time of the day, there's no direct sunlight. Otherwise, there'd be this massive glow down one side of the face, and I would look curious. Is the head straight? No, it's not. No, that's absolutely guaranteed that the head is not straight at all. In any way, shape, or form. I can guarantee that one 100%. Daylight in Scotland, yes, it's remarkable. In fact, there's almost too much daylight. It doesn't really get dark anymore. It's quite an interesting experience living this far north. 57 degrees, and as a result of that, it's we could tax that surely. Yeah, there's plenty of daylight going on, so. We only get about 4 hours of darkness now, and I think it drops. I think by June 23rd, I think we drop to about 2 hours of darkness, and it's not really darkness at all. It's sort of twilight because we're twice as close to the Arctic Circle as I used to live, which is just a fair old distance I've covered there. So 600 miles, I think it is. So yeah, so that's all good. Anyway, we have done the thing. We now must get on to the stuff because I haven't been streaming Elite Dangerous for a few weeks for various reasons. Life has chucked a few things at me and stuff has happened. But anyway, but anyway, we're back and lots of course has happened in the intermediate time. So we need to. We were building our own base, which I understand has been finished. Which is excellent. So we'll go and check that out in a bit. I understand. Yeah, there's some Galnets to catch up on. There's grammar checking to be done, obviously, and I think I look forward to the grammar checking the most. That tells you a lot about me, doesn't it? And sort of Elite Dangerous news and stuff, because there's ships and peoples and things moving about. So that's quite good. Is anyone else missing Drew's writing streams or they make a grand return? Well, streaming time unfortunately is still at a bit of a premium at the moment. So I have made a note of that, my friends. I have made a note of that. If I can find time to bring them back, then I will. Alas, particularly here in the summer, I think maybe in the winter we might have a bit more bandwidth because it's going to be dark, cold, and I'm probably going to be snowed in a lot of the time, and I won't be able to work on the garden. But right now, alas, the garden is it's not really a garden, it's sort of the land, shall I call it, is consuming a fair chunk of time. So that was good. Am I working on the book? I am working on the book. It's not as fast as I would like, and I do need to get my head straight and get cracked on. But there's so much stuff that we've had to do in order to get things up here straight and heading in the right direction that my immediate bandwidth has been constricted quite a lot. And I've bought a tractor, as some of you may have seen. Not a big tractor, it's like a little garden tractor. It's a glorified lawnmower, let's be honest. But you can sit on it and ride it around. It's got 4 wheels, so I mean, obviously much fun has to be had. Anything that's got forward and reverse gears and a steering wheel, I mean, regardless of what its primary purpose is, needs to be driven around to see what it can do, right? And I have been doing that. So that's all good. Right. And as I've said, does it have any hard points? Well, it does kind of have a hard point. It has a great big pair of scything blades underneath, which you can raise and lower to various different degrees of height cutting. So I suppose that sort of counts. And they do look pretty insanely dangerous. I certainly wouldn't want to go anywhere near them when they were spinning. Limbs would be chucked off in all sorts of directions. Fortunately, said lawnmower is fitted with an awful lot of safety cutouts and all sorts of clever stuff. So there's no way. Well, I'm sure there is, but there's no obvious way that you could get anywhere near them when they were running. But yes, it's a powered machine, and it's yellow, and it's got wheels, and it's insanely good fun. So yes, mowing the grass has never been so much fun, which is good. Right. Anyway, so let's crack it. I've just realised I have been waffling for a while, and I didn't press the well by waffle button, so we should definitely do that just because I've got it. So here we goes. Ready? Time for that button. Have I bought a custom paint job? I haven't. No, because it's bright yellow. It's a sort of actually slightly orangey yellow. It's sort of orange sidewinder yellow. If that makes sense. So it's very easy to spot. It looks like it's actually quite an aggressive looking thing from the front, I think. It's got two pointless. They call them headlights, but they're not really headlights. I mean, they'd be bright enough for you to see it in the dark, but I don't think you could drive around in the dark with these things. Quite why they're there, I'm not sure. I think it's just to make it look good, because it's got these two little, I mean, they're kind of like eyes. And it's quite an aggressive looking thing. It's quite a chunky thing as well. Apparently, I don't know how much it weighs. I think it's about 300, 400 kilos, so it's not insignificantly heavy. Probably a bit less than that, actually. Maybe 200, 300 kilos. I don't know what that is in pounds because I can't remember old stuff anymore. But it's a chunky bit of kit. But it's and I've flat out. It will be unsurprised to know it'll do about 8 to 10 miles an hour in top gear. Does it have a throttle? It does. It has a big lever. The top of the lever is marked. Well, it doesn't have any speed or power increments. It basically has a tortoise at the bottom and a hare at the top. So it's like fast and slow and anywhere in between. Is there a racing track? Of course there is. My wife thinks I'm building paths around the garden, sort of just ornate, little curves and turns and things, just to make the garden look good. But of course, I have a totally nefarious plan in mind. Timed lapse of the garden in certain directions. And then the grass cutting will adapt to wherever the racing lines are. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, why would you want to mow grass in the dark? I can't think of anything else. I can't think of anything. I mean, surely that's quite dangerous, isn't it? Why would you want to mow the grass in the dark? I mean, there's trees and there's drops and there's little undulations and things. It doesn't sound like a very sensible idea to do. Never have I been so dedicated to mowing. No, no, it's indeed. Um, does it have a D throttle? Well, I suppose it kind of does actually, but I think it's got a. No, let's not go there. So anyway, yes, the lawnmower is a great success. I've also bought myself a little trolley that goes on the back. So it's sort of like it's kind of like SRV really, with a little kind of a thing on the back, which you can stick stuff in for no other reason than there's an option to stick stuff in it and carry it around the garden. So yeah, for 24-hour lawnmower racing, I suppose you could. No jumping ridge. It doesn't have any kind of vertical thrusters, as far as I've been able to tell. That would make it quite useful, but no, you have to carefully plan your route in case you get grounded out, because it's not like a quad bike. It's only rear wheel drive, so I've already got it stuck on a number of occasions, which won't surprise you. Mostly because I'm being a bit ambitious sometimes on some of the areas I'm trying to mow. Because it's gone to seed quite a lot of the land that we're on, so it's a bit of a struggle. So I've also got some excellent electric powered, battery powered trimmer and cutter things. So there we go. I am glad to see you emphasising your Gen X label on your logo. I have been trying to tell people I'm not a boomer forever. Yeah, I mean, I suppose we just get tarred with the same brush, don't we? I mean, when did the boomers end and the Gen X begin? I'm not quite sure when it calls. But anyway, I'll have to. To be honest, it would suit an elite decal on the front. I'll have to see if I can get one stenciled out in some fashion. I was quite keen on putting, because it's got the word Stiga, which is the manufacturer, which apparently is Italian. On the front in a nice sort of crisp silvery font. I was thinking of putting GTI on the back in the same font. I think that'd be quite good. Okay, so Gen X is 65 to 7980. Okay, so I'm sort of about 1/3 of the way into Gen X then, I guess. Okay, so that's interesting. So yeah, I mean, sometimes we do get mistaken for boomers, but I mean, okay, boomer. As the young folks tend to say. It's this, yeah, the GTI lawnmower. I mean, obviously, and but yeah, it's got 5 forward speeds and a reverse gear and stuff, and it is possible to skid it on loose ground, apparently, allegedly. So there we go. So yeah, so the lawn mowing is good. The strimmering with electric strimmers is also fun. So I'm sort of making paths in the wilderness, which is good. But I'm hoping to get a digger as well at some point. I may not buy a digger because I don't think I permanently need a digger, but I do need to do some digging of stuff at some point as well. So that's quite a big. That's quite good. Orkney Shawns 59. So a lot of us are going to be on that boomer Gen X boundary, I guess, as well. So who in 1980 years as baby as Gen X get 1980s teenagers? Yes, I think Diana Riggs are about right. They're good to see you, Diana. Thank you very much for popping in. 1980s teenagers is feels about right. We were teenagers in that formative era, so we got all the 8-bit computers and all that kind of stuff. That to me is Gen X. New Romantics at the beginning of the decade, and Pet Shop Boys and stuff in the middle, and etc. 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 So yeah, but I'm not punk Gen X. At least I mean, I vaguely remember punk stuff right at the yeah, when I was a real child, sort of 6, 7, but I wasn't really old enough. I mean, no way my mum or my parents would have allowed me to express any kind of punkness in my appearance, I'm sure. And the first pop music I really remember is late 70s, early 80s sort of stuff. I don't really, so I think I'm a bit too young to be in the punk rocker mod sort of space. So there we go. I'm an X-Man. Yes, that's exactly what I am. So it's nice and boxy. It needs a Lakon stick. It does have a Lakonness about it. It's sort of industrial, which I suppose makes sense since it's a thing, but actually doing a job. Solstice Project, I am of the generation I can beat you at video games because when I grew up, video games were hard. That's right. And we just don't give up because we knew we had to face like 5 minutes of random tape loading in order to get the next game. We couldn't just double click and play the next one. So we're damn well going to play the hell out of this game, even if it was ridiculously hard as well. Ah, dear, never mind. Strangler's Golden Brown broke the punk mold. I think yeah, again, that's a song I know, but I don't remember hearing it the first time round. I'm trying to think, what's the first pop song I actually remember hearing? It's quite a good question, actually. I can't really think. So it's more likely to be something that your parents were playing there. So I mean, my dad was into ABBA and things like that, which actually kind of went really badly out of fashion for a while, and then I think it's just retro nostalgia's come back in again. I don't mind a bit of ABBA actually, but you've got to be careful in certain circumstances when you say that sort of thing because it's instant untrendiness. Not that I really care about such things, but so yeah, it's difficult. I don't remember much punk stuff. It's probably because my parents would be playing. My mum was into classical music and comic operas and things, so she wasn't into pop music at all. So whereas my dad played sort of Rolling Stones, maybe a bit of the Monkees and the Beatles and some stuff like that. So I do remember that sort of stuff, but it was relative. I always considered it relatively old already by the time I was growing up, and I didn't really get into pop music until the early '80s. So. So, what's the first single you bought with your own money and your own pocket money? That's a very good question. Everyone else can answer that one as well. I think it would have been. What would it have been? I think it would have been something like the new Human League or something like that. Just can't get enough. It's probably the sort of thing. I think I might even still have that record. So, Axel F. Yeah, no, that was a good choice. That was a bit later on in the '80s, wasn't it? I tend not to buy singles. I tend to buy albums. So I've definitely got Axel F. Yeah, I mean, Axel F's a good choice. Huey Lewis and the News, The Power of Love. That's a good song. Yes, excellent, excellent, excellent. Anyway, we are in danger of waffling for hours. Don't You Want Me, Baby? Yes, no, that was a good song. Ugly Spirit, well done. So yeah, that's definitely my sort of era, Human League. That's kind of when I remember pop music kind of coming into my um, consciousness. Definitely. So my mum got me playing Electric Dreams over and over. Electric Dreams is a good one as well. Lovely stuff. Classic rock, Eagles. Yeah, see, I like the Eagles now, but I don't think I played it at the time. Don't You Want Me was the worst track on day. Yeah, there was a actually, wasn't it? What was the other one? Just Can't Get Enough. Was that Human League? No, that's Depeche Mode, isn't it? Sorry. Just Can't Get Enough by Depeche Mode. I love the New Musical Express Enemy review of it, which was Just Can't Get Enough. You will, we did. That was excellent. Anyway, right. Let's let's get on. Let's go and do some Galnet because there's been a bit of fluff going on in Galnet. It's always nice to see a bit of fluff in that direction. So here we go. Right, let's switch to some Galnet stuffs. Where's my button for Galnet? There. Right, and here is said Galnet. Right, I need to interact with this. Where's my interact button gone? There it is. Right, so what has been going on since I last streamed? So when was that? Must have been at the beginning of May, right? So was it back here or the end of April? I don't remember. Right, yes, we'd seen this one, hadn't we? So stuff was happening. The migration of people was going on. And everyone was very excited about it. So that's excellent. So it's just there's been 3 Galnets since we last streamed, which is excellent. So mining rivalry sparked conflict in LP 855-34. Tensions between Yuri Grom and Felicia Winters. Oh, so the power play folks are up to it again. have erupted into open conflict around the mining system of LP855-34. You'd have thought they'd come up with a better name for that, but anyway. The system's platinum rush, triggered by local construction demands, has drawn forces from both powers. Does powers need a capital P? Is it a proper noun? Intermediate GB will presumably jump in and advise on that. Don't know, maybe it is the powers. Is that a proper noun? I'm not sure. Anyway, it's a CG that's obviously finished. Eurogrom's representative accused federal factions of cornering the market unfairly, urging loyal supporters to counteract the Federation's aggressive tactics. Combat zones have appeared throughout the region as pilots clash over strategic mining sites. Pilots supporting Eurogrom are encouraged to report to the Undeniable Station. That's quite a cool name, the Undeniable Station. LP833A blah 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 to assist in industrial mining operations and help push back the federal forces. So basically, it's just ACG go and kill stuff, which is good fun. I mean, at least they're doing the CGs. There was a whole period in the game where there weren't any CGs at all, so they're quite welcome for just mucking about. So anyway, so that is just a CG starting, and presto, there's a CG completing. Winter's supporters claim mining rush victory. Well, at least the apostrophe's in the right place there in the title. Where that's good. A surprisingly tense mining boom has concluded, with supporters of Felicia Winters claiming success over Eurogrom's pilots. Bum, bum, bum. A call for platinum by the system's governing faction triggered an influx of ships representing the two powers. See, now it's lowercase. So, is it powers or is it powers? Come on, Winter Beauty Bee, you haven't chimed in on this particular issue yet. I think this is important stuff. Come on, man. Long-standing issues between Eurogrom and the Federation fed into the competitive aspect of the issue. So, comma and. Oh, we don't need a comma and. You still think I care? No, it's not so much that you care, that you just want to pick holes in things, like me. And it's perhaps no surprise that it was the latter who claimed the greatest number of mined resources in the end. Speaking on behalf of Winter Support Base, a representative gave this statement. These are very cookie cutter, aren't they? It's like, here's some stuff, somebody gives a statement, here's the statement, and so on and so forth. The efforts of our mining teams over the past 2 weeks have been nothing short of remarkable. We provide enough platinum. It's almost, I mean, dare I say, it's almost as if there's a script with some variable slots in it. The insert optimistic phrase, we provided enough insert commodity, close brackets commodity, to ensure that system name governing faction will meet its manifesto. Oh, look at this. Oh, no, this is not good. Full stop. And what's going on here? You can't start a sentence with a preposition. That's just wrong. And then they put and a comma just as significantly. We show that the Federation dominates all competitors in matters of industry. Well done. There's no way that got checked by a press officer. Those who took part in the conflict on either side can now collect their rewards. So off you go, guys. Collect your rewards. Oh, you did. Excellent. Well done. Okay, so has anything actually happened? Okay, is this actually something happening? Who called the grammar police? I am the grammar police. Me and Wintermute GB anyway. The Alliance Assembly has voted to end the Strategic Defence Pact between the Alliance and Sirius Corporation. Okay, well, this pact be a little bit more interesting. The pact, agreed in January 3308, was a response to growing Thargoid hostility in the months prior to the alien invasion of the core systems. At the time, the Alliance Defence Force was seen as lacking adequate anti-Xeno modules and defences. Sirius Corporation spent billions on refitting ADF vessels over the past 3 years, but has been accused of leveraging its position to secure profitable contracts in unrelated fields. No, I mean, the Sirius Corporation would never do such a thing. Entirely trustworthy. The motion to end the pact was raised by Councillor Nakato Kane, seconded by Councillor Ensley Niven of Rialt. Oh, nice old world reference there, Rialt. and was approved by a slim majority. In her opening argument, Kane had called the pact an opportunistic ploy for military influence in alliance space, with eyes on a monopoly over small corporations founded in alliance member states. So big bad corporation coming in and stealing our stuff. Prime Minister Edmund Mahon had argued in favour of maintaining the pact. Oh, interesting. Okay, pointing out that the recent Thargoid invasion is unlikely to be the last Xeno threat we ever see. Well, so that's interesting. Is it? Or is that frontier speak for don't expect Thargoids never to come back again, guys? Comma and really, that's 3 Oxford commas I've had to put up with already. And the ADF benefits greatly from Sirius Corp's technology and industrial might. Analysts believe that reduced Sirius Corp presence in the Allied military industry and related business will trigger a frantic rush from other companies to fill the supply chain. Sirius Corporation has not yet issued a statement to the media. Oh, well, there we go. Stuff. So that is it. Okay, so Galnet continues, but it's kind of slow. Dear. You need to spoke proper England like I does. Indeed, that's basically what it is. Effective Inspector Wagar with the grammar, please. It was the typesetters. We blame the typesetters. Oh yeah, it is, isn't it? Some serious core. Sorry, you're quite right. Well, no, is it? Because I've read it as corporation, as in short. I know the serious core because it's not a core. It's not a corpse, is it? As in a military corpse. Because it's short for corporation. Is core as in it's still core, is it? Okay, I'll let you have that one. Cool, let me go. Anyway, so Sirius Corporation or Sirius Core have yet to issue a statement, so they're obviously going to be rather cheered off. But anyway, there we go. So whether anything is going to occur as a result of that, who knows? So anyway, so again, not very much is happening in the worldwide universe of Elite Dangerous, but there we go. There we go. Galnet is alas a bit of a shadow of its former self after all these years, but at least it's sort of stumbling onwards, bit by bit. Right, I suppose in other news, Wintermute GB's bit of Latin there. Quis custodiet ipsos custodes. Very good indeed. Who's fact checking Wintermute GB? Nobody knows. I don't think anybody knows. There is a new ship now. Yes, the new ship. Now I'm going to have to update the intro to the stream now, aren't I? Because the new ship is the ship that hitherto, I think is probably the right word, could not be named because to name said ship was to delay the arrival of said ship. But obviously, because we didn't mention the ship that cannot be named for a significantly long period, obviously it was long enough for the said ship that could not be named to actually become a thing. So yeah, so we do now have a ship that cannot be named, which is of course the Panther Clipper, which was revealed. I think they revealed it at PitCon, or at least they put a teaser of it at PitCon, and then zapped it onto sort of social media and other bits and pieces. It's the Scottish ship, yeah. Hop data off the shore. Buck will make amends, etc., etc. So the Panther Clipper, which now I understand it's the Panther Clipper Mark II technically, isn't it? They've sort of adopted this naming convention. Let me go back. They've adopted this. Let's get a picture of it actually. Have I got a picture of it? I should have downloaded one of these earlier on. Let's just think it's still on there. Yeah, the stuff, isn't it? That's not it. Where is it? No. Where's the picture of it? Is that far back? No, that's not it. Where's the picture of it? There it is. Here we go. So there we go. So this is the Panther. I mean, it does have a pantheriness to it. You're quite right. In fact, more so than the original ship it's based on. For those of you who don't know the story of this, which I'm sure most of you do, is the Panther Clipper was the largest ship in the second and third versions of Elite, the games. So this is Elite Frontier Elite 2 and Frontier First Encounters. Yeah, so let me just, for context, let you show you what that looked like. So we did the playthrough of this on my channel not that long ago. Well, actually quite a long time ago now. Now, hopefully we can still find a picture, but it's not been deluged by everything else. This is the problem, trying to find historical stuff, because the AI gets extremely excited. So can I get Frontier Elite 2 Panther Clipper? See, there we go. There's some images of it. So this is what it looked like in the original game. There we go. That's probably that one. There we go. So that's from Reddit, but that's a shot from in-game. That's actually from Frontier First Encounters, which is the third game. So this is what it looked like in the original game. It had a bit of Gorad shading in the original. In Frontier Elite 2, it wouldn't have had the Gorad shading, but and it was I believe the biggest ship in the game that you could purchase as a commander. There were some bigger ships in the game that were NPC ships, but this was the biggest one you could own unless you hacked your game save file, which of course none of us ever did at all for no reasons. So yeah, you had this, and I don't know what the size specific was on it, but it was huge in the game. Now it did have a few interesting things. These legs did rotate, so they rotated and they became engines in a rather curious way, actually, because when it was taking off, and all these ships sort of took off vertically. When it took off vertically, you could see the thrusters under each of the four legs, which sort of made sense because presumably it was balancing on its thrusters. Although the center of mass of this ship looks dangerously close to the front. So I'm not sure how stable it would have actually been. But anyway, that's it. It took off by thrusting from underneath its four legs. When it kind of converted into flying mode, these things rotated 90 degrees around so that they were pointing towards the back. But they, as you can see on this one, they sort of locked into place with this extra piece here in such a way that this engine was now thrusting through this block and into the, I suppose it's not an air intake, is it? But whatever the front of that engine is. So either these front two engines switched off and only the back two engines were working, or somehow with some magic space tech, the thrust from these two front engines was somehow vectored into the back engines as well. So you still had four thrusty things. Anyway, and you could stick a enormous cannon on the front. I think it was one of the only ships that could house the large plasma accelerator, which was the weapon of choice for discerning commanders who wanted to basically one-shot everything else in the game. The neat thing about this ship was that you could put so many. Yeah, this is old tech, because in these games the shield generators were so they were stackable effectively. You could start with just one, which is virtually useless, and depending on how much hull space you had in your ship, you could stick more and more and more and more and more. And at a certain point, you effectively became invulnerable because you could effectively ram things and your shields would recharge at the same rate as they would discharge. So you effectively became invulnerable to anything short of a supernova, which of course never happened. And you're quite right, the Kazakh. In the manual, it was said that it was able to obliterate things from orbit using a large plasma accelerator. It also had a few little glitches that were never ironed out. You could fit a laser to the front, which was fine, but the ship wasn't very maneuverable, surprisingly enough, because it was absolutely huge. So in order to fight anything, you had to basically attach weapons to these turrets and there was one on the top here, and there was one on the bottom. Due to an unfortunate oversight in the design of the ship, It was possible for you to shoot your own hull using your turret weapons if you got a bit too enthusiastic with the with the turret controls, which meant that it was possible to shoot yourself down, which put the game into some slightly unusual situations. Uh, so it was always advisable to be very, very careful when using the turrets. I think you could possibly put a gun on the back as well, but it was a huge cargo haul. That's what its job was. So that's where this has come from. Now, um, everybody wanted this in Elite Dangerous pretty much from day one, I think, and as a result, it's been one of those is it ever coming kind of things in Elite Dangerous, and then so it became a bit of a meme in the sense that you mustn't mention the Panther Clipper because every time you mention it, its release date is pushed back 6 months. Um, Shoot yourself down sounds like the perfect ship for me. It was, yeah. So Frontier First Encounters was a game of unusual situations. Yeah, Aerodynamic, you're quite right there. Frontier First Encounters is a game where you actually have to hack the save files in order to complete the game. That's how good it is. As we discovered a few years ago when I did a playthrough of that as well. So, yeah, it was a challenging game, but that's the origin of the Panther Clipper, presumably the original Panther Clipper, and now we have we have the new one. Actually, it's interesting there. Let's just have a look because I think that one there. These two images here. They look like fan-made images. They're not. I can assure you on this one that both this image and this one are some of the original concept art. I remember seeing this in the writers' forum way back, must be 10 plus years ago, what the Panther Clipper might look like. So they did have some design ideas. Doesn't look like a great deal of that is carried over to the current one. It's got little docking ports and things on the side there. That looks quite funky, but that's not what we ended up having. A slightly interesting enough on that one, asymmetric design, which was something Michael Brooks absolutely hated. so, that never happened. So we've ended up with this. So this is the Panther Clipper that is coming into game, and it does look like a bit of a beast. They've sort of paid homage to the four engines, but they have, I think, wisely separated the vectors so that the intakes don't overlap, so that the front engines aren't sort of thrusting whatever Elite engines do. So it's not getting sucked directly into the not air intakes, because clearly they aren't air intakes. And thus sort of contaminating the rear engines or possibly overheating them. I'm sure that the first render was released in Elite Dangerous News. It might have been. It's a long time ago now. Yeah, they're vacuum intakes. I mean, maybe they have. I don't really see the point of these as air intakes, because if the engines are perfectly okay working in space, which obviously they are, those can't be cooling vents. They do look like sort of air intakes, don't they? But are they buzzard collectors? The problem with buzzard collectors, and Star Trek is very bad at this, is there's just isn't enough stuff in space to make it worthwhile. So for a buzzard ram scoop to actually work, you'd need to have like a big net a few kilometers wide in front of the ship. So the idea of having a few meters squared, I mean, it's a big ship, to be fair. That's possibly quite a few dozen, maybe 100 meters squared air intake, which is something intake. But it's nowhere near big enough to suck in enough fuel to power the engines. So I don't subscribe to the ship-mounted ram air scoop things, really. So maybe for first time chat from Grimbringer Gugabel, maybe for cooling carrots, it could well be. Are they carrier-sized docks? Maybe things can come in and out of them. I mean, that would be quite cool. Possibly for atmospheric planets, Project Daedalus. Yes, you've got me there. Particles in space dust. I just don't think there's enough stuff floating around in space to make it a viable thing. I mean, maybe obviously we've got fuel scoops in the game when you're in the Corona, which is a long-standing thing complete right from the original game. Maybe it uses massive magnetic fields or so. I mean, space magic, really, isn't it? But docking bays, I mean, yeah, that would be quite cool, but it isn't that big. How? I mean, am I right in saying this thing will fit through the docking slot? Apparently, just so that gives us a sort of maximum size to it. I mean, it's big, but it's not unbelievably large. Does anybody know what its dimensions are? Are there any technical specs on it? Ships are realistic, but that's not real. Yeah, so I mean, it's eating smaller ships. I mean, it'd be quite good. We could maybe execute people by standing in front of the air index and then switching the engines on, and then they all get sucked in. It will fit on a large pad. Okay, so that's good. Wasn't there a Star Trek tech manual that explained everything? Yeah, so I think it's quite good. Anyway, let's have a look at some of the other bits. I mean, just looking at this picture, I don't think it, considering its purpose is to be a massive, massive cargo haul, I don't think it looks too bad. What are all these things here? Are these escape pods or something? Just wondering what these circular things are here. I can't see the obvious location of hard points either, but maybe they're in some of the other pictures. Oh, those are the heat vents. Okay, cool. Little Graham also hello. They are definitely thingies. Okay, so this is the rear. It's got a lot of engine details, hasn't it? Which is nice. Quite like that. And this is a combined engine stroke undercarriage, I'm guessing. So that's going to be quite interesting to see. It looks. I tell you what, looks a little bit like. Who remembers Big Track from the 80s? Big Track with extra arms. Take the wheels off Big Track and stick some legs on it. It kind of looks like that. There should just be like a programmable pad on the back here, and it can go doot 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 doot. For those of you who remember Big Track. Now you see this thing. If they can do rotating undercarriage things, they can do spinning nacelles, can't they? So it's a space frog, says Beckers. Wintermute GB agrees. It's a frog. It does have a frogginess to it, actually, from that angle. You're quite right. The Harkonnens still have a big tracks. Excellent. That's good. So yeah, there's definitely some frogginess going on here, isn't there? Particularly that kind of face at the front there. Plus the designs based on those on Nostromo. So yeah, I can see a few sci-fi influences there as well. The thing that always bothers me, I mean, I like articulated things on spaceships because they look cool, right? But I mean, these bearings here, I mean, that one to me doesn't look very good. That one there, it just looks like I need a very large flat-bladed screwdriver and just undo it. Is there a captive nut in there on the other side? Perhaps that particular one there doesn't look very sophisticated, does it? That almost looks like this is this is a model, and that's basically how you attach the things to it. That's quite a low res detail, that one. Everything has screws, so don't worry about it. The captive nut drives it. Yeah, that would be me probably. Jack Havoc, good evening, or Jack Havoc, good evening, and good to see you as well. Thanks for popping in. So yeah, so I quite like articulated things. They're a bit of a nonsense really in spaceship design, but they do look cool. So okay, so this is plan views of. Oh, this is just the engine nacelle. Okay, so that's top, side, rear tires. That's got a very. I mean, that is Prometheus, but it's also got an almost Russian. What was the Russian equivalent to the Saturn V that didn't really work very well? It's also got a sort of SpaceX kind of vibe to it, hasn't it? That engine nozzle arrangement. I believe it's part of the landing assembly. Okay, so is there a shot of the landing gear? Oh, there we go. Okay, so when it's landed, yeah, it's a big thing, isn't it? At least it's meaty. I like the fact the landing gear is a bit chunky. Is it the Buran? No, the Buran was the space shuttle, I think. Was it a proton rocket? It might have been a proton rocket. I can't remember. So yeah, but it kind of looks it yeah, now it's got a pantheriness there, hasn't it? I quite like the fact it's sort of sitting back on its haunches a little bit. N1, that's the one. Gnordvag is quite correct. N1, the N1 rocket, it's got shades of that in there as well. It has got a slightly panthery look there. I quite like that. So the undercarriage, it doesn't. So these things don't rotate all the way round. Unlike the original one, they sort of tilt back and then the undercarriage extends from them. Okay, so that it does have a cat-like sort of vibe. I see what they've done there with this haunch sort of sticking up at the back. That's quite nice. I quite like that. So it does look like it's about to like a pounce forward. So yeah, so it's definitely got a pantheriness in it. I suppose the question is, can we now that we've got a Pink Panther starbase, what we need is one of these in pink. Can we get a pink paint job? I mean, we could just get one and just park it there permanently, couldn't we? I think that would be quite good fun. Grumbringle says, I have a suspicion that the name Mark II is not for nothing, and maybe at some point another version will come out that's less armed and resistant to more square. I mean, maybe. I mean, I think it's the Mark II because that's the naming convention they followed, following the original ships from the original games in most cases. So the Cobra was already on the Mark III, but the Crate wasn't. So the original Crate is a much smaller ship, and then the Crate Mark II that we're used to is the Mark II because it's the next one along. So, but there's no saying that they won't do other ones either. Maybe they will. And then we had the Cobra, we had the Cobra Mark IV. Now we've got the Cobra Mark V, of course. So, but I mean, it's good to see them bringing out new ships. I mean, and this is a beast, isn't it? So it's a big chunky machine. I mean, is there any? Okay, Jack Havoc says it's going to be interesting to see if the Panther Clipper has a decent range of its. It's so huge, it simply bullies the galaxy into rotating around it. Maybe it will. It's going to be pretty expensive. I mean, it must be top tier. I mean, it must be more than the Anaconda and the Imperial. What's the Imperial ship again? Not the Clipper, the other one. Not the Corsair. What's the big one? I've got one. What's it called? Gutter, that's the word. Well done. It's got to be more expensive than that, I imagine, by a factor of maybe 2 or 4 times. What do you reckon? I reckon that's got to be 4 Anacondas worth at least. That would be my guess, and somewhere in that sort of region, I think seems sensible, doesn't it? And then, I mean, to fit it out, who knows? But it's going to be interesting to see what that cockpit looks like as well, because that's interesting because it's a work in progress. That's actually the cockpit there has no detail at all, does it? Double the cutter price, 1,600 arcs. Well, there is that, yeah. They said it has a bridge. Yeah, this is why we need ship interiors. I want to walk around on the bridge. How big can the cargo racks be? Yeah, Type 9 cargo rack, 2 billion credits. So it's good. Yeah. Type 10 Defender price times 2. I mean, it's a big old ship, isn't it? So it's going to be interesting to see how they do price it. You're going to need a very big flat. One thing's for certain, you're going to need a very big flat area to land it, aren't you? So yeah, when do we get it? It arrives in the summer, doesn't it? Which isn't all that long away. So so do we know? I presume it's summer, i.e. June, or summer, i.e. end of August. June, July is my guess. It won't be long. And is that for arcs first, presumably? I'm guessing. We don't know what the interior layout's going to be, of course. Arcs first, so it's the usual thing, which seems to be working well for them. I don't like to encourage the small money grab, but I understand why they're doing it. It comes with 2 docking computers. One to land it, and the other one to reassure the first one is doing a good job. I mean, it's there's something about having a big ship which is quite cool, right? The problem with without any kind of interiors, it doesn't feel much different sometimes flying the big ones to the small ones, other than they maneuver slower and you can carry more stuff. But um, let's be honest, says Jack Havoc. Within a couple of hours of being released, someone will be landing on the planet of death. Someone else will be getting a Cyclops, and a lot will be jammed in a random toast rack throughout the bubble. I think the random toast jam is going to definitely happen. If they have shown the bridge station, so have they shown that on in here, or is that on one of the streams? Okay, so I haven't been able to catch up with the stream, so maybe I'll have a look at that. That's a little sort of shot of it in flight there, which looks quite nice. Um, so yeah, it's I mean you know a new ship is a new ship, right? So that's pretty good. Quite happy that they're still making that. The other little bit of news actually is that Mr. Arthur told me is I understand leaving Frontier this summer as well. So he's been there for 5 years. It's time has flown by. So presumably that now leaves a space for a senior community manager or something. And so maybe somebody like Zach will step into that role because he's about the only person left on the screen that we know, isn't he? So he's a regular. Who else is hosting the stream? Um, is it just Arthur and Zach now? Is there anybody else who's a regular? Who's the lady? Was it Melody or Melanie or something? We saw her once or twice. I quite liked her. I can't remember her name though. I've forgotten. Holly, that was the name. There we go. We quite liked Holly. So Arf's job was head of comms. So FDev have called the bridge, but it's more like chunkier consoles. Okay. So Holly makes a surprise. So maybe Holly will take over. That would be quite cool. So to be fair, Arthur's presided during Arthur's kind of reign of community manager and head of comms and stuff. He has, Elite has come back. I think if we look back, he's presided over some reasonable stuff. He did the whole curve with the Thargoids. The story up with the Thargoids, and then the other bits, and then there was that sort of hiatus in the middle, and then where Frontier themselves were in a bit of bother, and then again there was sort of resurgence in the last year where everything sort of come back on song. So he's going out on a high, really, isn't he? Which is probably the best way to do it. So I think maybe that's timely. And 5 years is a reasonable chunk of time to spend. Yeah, you're quite right with Dimitri, but he wasn't just looking over Elite, was he? He was looking at sort of a whole bunch of stuff. So, but it does leave a little bit of a vacuum again, for a space game, for who's going to be the kind of sort of focus community person going forward. So maybe it'll be Zach, maybe it'll be Holly. Yeah, apologies for the vacuum bun. Everyone's still speculating on how much cargo this thing can hold. It's going to empty space stations within minutes, isn't it? A few of these turning up. They will need to headhunt somebody. Ooh, we could apply with Dimitri. We could be a comedy double act. Don't think that would go down very well. So they couldn't afford us anyway, could they? They couldn't pay. They couldn't pay the fees. They couldn't pay the appearance tax. They certainly couldn't. They couldn't pay for the grammar checking. But there we go. My thoughts exactly. 2,100 ton capacity. That's a lot of whole cargo hold to fill, isn't it? Would the ship even fit into Melbourne? Apparently, it will. So I've been told. Definitely will be a tight squeeze. Top Shot suggests Commander Burr. You could recruit somebody for community, couldn't you? We could be the Statler and Waldorf of Frontier Streams. We could just sit in the corner box and be panned to every so often for some stupid comment. That quite appeals to me, actually. Just apply butter to the outside buttons. Yes, I think a generous helping of some sort of oil-based ointment would probably be recommended. Senior pun manager, that could be good. We did see the new community manager on the last Frontier Unlocked, despite our neglecting to introduce. Okay, so maybe there's somebody taking over. Well, we shall wait with bated breath to see who replaces R. But anyway, we wish he's not gone yet, has he? But when he does go, we will wish him well. We will wish him well. We've teased him along the way, but such is the lot of a community manager. I think in general he's. I mean, in terms of, I mean, he's stayed the course, hasn't he? Through good times and bad. To be fair, he's had to front a lot of flack, I think, Arthur overall. So yeah, props to him for doing that. Yeah, he's 5 years is a good old stint. So there we go. You'll be let go in a week as you'll be spell checking them writing. Yeah, I mean, I've complained about it many times in the past. It kind of annoys me that all that effort was put into creating Galnet, and then they just don't kind of utilize it. You know, they didn't tell decent stories in it. So, but hey, that ship has alas long since undocked, and this is probably halfway across the galaxy by now. So there we go. 1 hour in already. So should we? I suppose we ought to do a little bit of Elite, really, because I haven't seen my new Winter Garden space station base thing. So let's go do that. I am a waffle Sith. You're quite right. I am. Let's get into the game and go and have a look around what's going on. Right. Let me do the playthrough button. Here we go. I haven't pressed this for a while. Right, here we are. Does it still work? Yeah, it does. Excellent. Ugly Spirit says, yeah, it's a mega waffle. Well, I mean, we haven't been chatting for a while, have we? So it's going to be good. Deep Pivot says, there's going to be a Galnet will replace with in-game news from Gal Talk. So we've got this right. Yeah. Traditional news is just so old school, right? So we're just going to replace it with little social media type things. Wonder the next big ship will be a dredger. Well, the space dredgers are actually in the game, aren't they? They are about. Is it still in game? I mean, it was in game. Is the space dredger still there? I remember doing a lore article on it. It definitely existed. Is it still? It has showed up again because it went missing for a while and then it's come back. So it is about somewhere you can go and visit a space dredger in game, which is definitely worth doing. Anyway, right, so I'm in the game. What am I doing? Where am I? Who knows? No, Commander Top Shot and Cyber Army are here with me, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm looking for someone with a gun to put something right.
Looking for someone with a gun to put something right. Sorry, haven't got a gun. Generally don't put things right either. Right, so, Commander Pac-Man is here as well. Good name, by the way. Commander Manager Joe is just chilling. Let's head to... Where are we, anyway? Is this Midiport? Oh, it is Midiport. Excellent. So let's get to whatever ship I've got docked here. Has the lighting changed? It seems very dark in the space station at the moment, considering all the lights are switched on. Or was that just me? Maybe I just haven't played Elite for a while. Oh, I'm still flying my Cobra Mark III. Very untidy, my station. Yeah, I mean, that's just... Okay, so there were a number of updates and changes to colonisation. Okay, so any kind of quick summaries of what sort of stuff was changed? Is it just patches or is it tweaks to... How's colonisation going? Are we, like, no longer on the frontier once more and the whole thing has pushed past us off into the distant galaxy? Take a look at the system map for a colony. Okay, I'll do that. Let me just get on board my ship. It's still grindy. Well, surprise, surprise. They fixed colonization stuff and broke other things. Did I pay the electric? Maybe that's why. Maybe that's why. So, okay, looks like my ship is slightly busted. So, how do I get to colonization again? It's in this menu, isn't it? Contacts. System colonization. I don't want to begin a new tour. I just want to look at what I've got. It's the system map. Is it? I've gotten this already. Sorry. Okay. So that's where we are. Yeah. Okay. So my colonies, star systems. There we go. This is where we currently are. I'm a system architect. So how do I? There we are, architect. That's the architect view. Oh, you can now get. Give you half an hour remembering how to do things. Yeah, sorry. Only half an hour. Omnibus, MIDI port. That used to be part of my computer hardware. Yes, well, alas. So we've got 2 ports on here. You like one of the other ports that we've got down on the surface here. In that case, Omnibus. If I can find it. Okay, so. Isn't it? That's so unintuitive, these user interfaces. I'm just randomly clicking, trying to remember. So I want to see what's in the system. Why can't I just do something simple like that? So anyway, can I zoom in on it? Will that work? So there we go. We have Winter Garden, which we should rename to Winter Mute Garden, I think, but there we go. And then this is the other one we've created, which is an agricultural settlement, surprisingly enough. Okay, so okay, and there it showed a strong market in February this year. Okay, so my colonies, when did this happen? Yeah, so this is all new. So we've been able to build our own colonies, which is quite good. Oh, there's market information. So we can import biowaste animal monitors. Okay, we've got some exports going on. That's good. This is our main one that we're going to go visit in a moment because I haven't been there yet. Winter Garden, which exports copper, natural fabrics, and polymers, and imports, and then exports water, cobalt, and indite. So there we go. Okay. So if I go, let's just go back to the galaxy map then. So has the wave of where's the filter? No. Those are my colonies. I know where those are. I don't know. Where's the galaxy filter? It's the problem when you don't play the game often enough. There we go. Okay, so there's lots of unclaimed ones still around us. But everything still here is mostly unclaimed. There's a few inhabited systems. But yeah, okay. So there's so we were right. We were literally right on the boundary of inhabited space a few weeks ago, and now there's the bubble down, the original bubble down there. Okay, so it is moving past us, isn't it? Quite a rate of knots, which is quite funny. Which I suppose is unsurprisingly. So yeah, and a lot of players have come back for that express reason. So that's all quite good. Anyway, let's go down and see. We did go and build Serial Report the other day, so let's go down and visit Winter Garden, which is a bit more of a significant sort of a place. I'm going to stick in my Cobra because why not? So I could leave Winter Report, bypass the Serial Report, and go straight to the Winter Garden. Now naming your bases in that custom fashion actually costs real money, so I've had to spend real money. Oh, someone's just managed to flip the. It's going to be quite tight, isn't it? Mr. Jack Stump with doing something like Really, as a system architect, they should just be just a little bit nicer. You'd have thought, wouldn't you? They're not. I don't know what Jack was doing there. He was doing a little jiggle. Anyway, so that's over there. So we were quite pleased with this system because it had a couple of gas giants, and there's a pulsar not too far away, I think, as I recall. So it's all good stuff.
Drive charging. 4, 3, 2, 1. Engage.
I haven't got a SCO drive, of course, on this Cobra, so I'm actually bypass that blue gas giant a little bit. Let's see if I can sneak around it. Clearly the authorities had good sense. So it was actually quite fun working out the locations for these bases, because the moon that we built the bases on is tidally locked, which means it's one side always facing the planet. So in order to get a good view from the space station, we decided to put the bases on the north pole and the sort of south pole of the moon as best we could. Although, as you can see from the system map, we weren't particularly accurate about doing that. But the idea was to have a nice view from things. And of course, if you get the beauty of a tidally locked planet is if you get the view correct, then it stays still, right? So you can always enjoy it. So that's pretty cool. And this moon seems to orbit a little bit above and below the ring plane of the rings there. So you quite often the moon is in exactly the same sort of equatorial plane as the rings, whereas this one isn't quite, which means you actually get a view of the rings as well, which is nice. I like that. So you've got a moon that is tidally locked to the star, not the planet. That's a bit weird. Not sure how that's supposed to work. So let's see how well this did. Is it always on the dark side? Have you noticed that? When you try to land somewhere, always on the dark side of the planet. In this case, the dark side of the moon. Which for Gen Xers is also another excellent album.
Orbital flight engaged.
I think it's a little bit of a shame we're approaching this. It's interesting because I thought we had a view of the gas giant from the winter garden. Maybe we don't. I thought we'd put it on. I thought we'd have a view. That's a bit weird. Yeah, so I can't have. Anyway, we'll find out what it's doing. So this is a custom base that well, I didn't build it, you guys did. So thank you very much for all your contributions, by the way. This is a decent sized base in comparison to the other ones. Oh look, we've got some geodesic domes. I can see those ones. Yeah. It's quite a decent structure.
Echo, please ensure you follow standard docking procedures before landing.
Nice. Pretty cool, isn't it?
Access authorized. Cleared for
Number
landing on pad 01.
Okay, let's just have a. Where is pad 01? It's off over there somewhere. Let's just have a little fly past it then to know what's inside there. It's pretty cool.
Reports of increased traffic surrounding the facility. Regulate your speed, Commander.
Scan detected.
There's little paths and everything in there. It's quite cute, isn't it? not very practical perhaps, but it's quite nice to see some stuff there. Yeah. It'd be nice. I wonder. It's a shame we can't walk around in there. I mean, that would be very cool. I'd like to be able to do that. That's pack 1.
Attention, Commander. You need to reduce your speed.
Landing gear deployed.
I'll post a link to Trailblazer Update 3 in the Discord. Excellent. Wow. Is there anything... Yeah, I suppose we could walk around outside it, couldn't we? Yeah, no, that's not... I think we should go have a look at that.
Landing gear retracted. Landing gear deployed.
Retracted landing gear. Very silly. There we go, down. Right, Jimmy, we can just have a look. Have you ever used the garage X from stuff? I have a long time ago, so
Welcome to the facility.
how does that work again? Do we do it if we drop the SRV here? Let's have a look around on the on foot, which is going to be relatively limited, but we should be able to take the SRVs out and have a look around as well. Okay, so this is the inside of the Winter Garden, which is actually quite a cool, randomly generated name that we were given. I quite like that. I suppose what we could do, see if we can sneak the external camera into the dome. Let's try that. That would be quite good fun. So this is down the ground. So it's carved out of the ground. Nice. Okay, that's the exit at the back. So we can now get custom skins for the stations and stuff. So okay, so there's a concourse. That's one we'd expect. What sort of concourse do we have? Okay, it's this type of concourse. Excellent. It's a bit brighter in here, so obviously the lights are on. Okay, so we've got a nice weapon. Look, Declan, see you. Come on, Wagar there.
If you want to earn some credits, no questions asked, I could have.
And oh, we've got a nice. Oh, so we actually got quite a nice bar here. That's quite good.
Mind how you remedy that?
And there's the view.
Listen, I need to hire someone who doesn't mind breaking the law.
That's pretty good.
That sound
looks,
like you?
That looks pretty cool. Okay, quite like that. Yep. Does look like a sort of proper space base, doesn't it? The only way to get out is by the SRV. So there's it'd be nice. It would be nice if there was a.
You don't mind getting on the wrong side of the law. Got a trip coming up.
Would be nice if there was a airlock, wouldn't it? But that's probably asking a bit much. Okay, let's go and see if we can try out the SRVs then. Decent size interior space base though. That's pretty good. There's just people just hanging out and they were for obvious reasons snoozing on the chairs. Let's try the SRV. Look around, see what it looks like. Yeah, it'd be nice to be able to walk around those geodesic areas. I do like that idea. But we can only have so much, can't we? Can't be greedy. We know that now. Right, so... Oh, and what do I have to do here? Do I have to go back to the surface? I'm holding off any major construction projects in Panther Clipper because that's going to be the way to do it, isn't it? You're probably so much stuff. Okay, so oh no, it's not there. It's there, isn't it? Cannot deploy launch bay malfunction 4. Oh, that's because I've got something disabled. do some lawn mowing. I mean, right, so there's the... There is the... Here are the geodesic domes in front of us. So, where do we actually come out of? Let's look at this. On my way back. Okay. Wish you could leave a little marker. When we get over there. Shame it's in the dark, really.
Scan detected.
It's quite a big base, actually, isn't it? I don't want to drive around here. Is there a way... Oh, where was that? We're just literally at the edge of it. I think it's just literally the edge, isn't it? So we can sort of park underneath and maybe tilt the camera up. Let's go and see if we can try that. Like a huge Olympic stadium, isn't it? So, right, how do I get into the handbrake on so I don't go wandering off? How do I get into the external camera? Is no. E. There we go. Into free camera. Right, so camera up there. Oh yes, there we go. Right, will it go in? Oh, the camera will not go through the glass. Oh, that's annoying. You're no fair. And he always... Well, the jetpack, we could try that. Yeah, you can't... That's interesting that it's like a force field that stops the camera from going in. At least you can... I mean, oh, look at that. That's a bit... There's like a... That is, look at the edge. That is a bunch of sprites, isn't it? 2D sprites. Oh, that's a bit low rent. Yeah, look, a bunch of 2D sprites stood up. It's fake. It's not a real forest. We can't go any further that way. It's not real exactly. Well, look at that tree there. That's like there's a flat tree. The ones in the middle aren't so bad done, but that one there is not a good tree, is it? Oh, look, was that a skimmer lying around in there? I thought I saw something move. Yeah, they should have Huey, Louie, and Dewey walking around inside them. That would make it perfect, wouldn't it? Yeah, look, there's some skimmers in there. Look, you can see them in the center of the screen. There they go. So they're sort of patrolling, maybe doing. I mean, maybe that's Huey and Louie at least. Where's Dewey? You need 3 of them. There should be 3. I mean, come on, Frontier. What's the matter? So you're lighting it from above, Cyber Army. You either get frame rate or realism. So can we climb on it? Would that our jetpacks be up to that, do you think? Where is my jet? Oh, there's my SRB down there. That looks like a long way up, to be honest, doesn't it? You recommend an Artemis suit? What have I got? I don't know if my Artemis suits. I have got an Artemis suit on. So, what is that? Improved jump assist. Yeah, I don't think I've got that. So I'm pretty sure I won't have it. Is there anything I can jump onto? That kind of give me a leg up. so I haven't got anywhere near the amount of thrust. So there won't be an obvious way in, will there? It does look quite good. I'd love to be able to stroll around in it. It's a sort of sci-fi environment that everybody wants to look. Look at that. Oh, there we go. Come on, the top shots with his. Well, look at you go. Okay, well that worked alright. So you can get up there. Can you throw me a rope down? What I could do with. Is it possible for somebody to land a ship nearby and I can stand on the front of the ship? Is that advisable? I can hit space twice. Okay. Oh, I see. Oh yeah, there we go. Okay, we'll sort of slide down the outside. Ooh, there we go. Okay, so we can do that. How long do I have to wait for it to recharge? Now we're close to the 2D sprites. Okay, that's pretty cool. Okay, this will do for now. We actually can walk on it. Okay, nice. Is that like an echoey sort of sound underfoot? Dunk, dunk, dunk. As if the material's slightly elastic. At least we can have a good look at it. So there's like a central courtyard. There's some sort of thing at the top here. Like a capping. Or is that just... That's just the darkness in the distance, isn't it? Am I at the top now? Not quite at the top, am I? Almost in the centre. Must be this triangle here. Or maybe that's it. That looks like the centre. There we go. Okay, so there's little pathways. And there should be a lake. What there should be is a little yellow lawnmower being driven around, I think. This is where we grow the giant broccoli. There's some quite interesting plants here. I mean, they're sort of very traditional earthy-like plants, aren't they? Nothing very exotic looking. I wonder why they don't bring in the plants from exobiology. You know, that'd be the obvious place to live here. It's an onion head farm. Get the plants and potatoes planted. Absolutely right. I wonder what that centre section is for. It feels like that should have a purpose. I just want to have a little... Why can't we just have a little stroll around there? I mean, maybe it's too low res right now. But there's a bit of... What's that mechanism there for, do you think? Almost looks like a sort of crane, doesn't it? So there's an interior ring there. Is that an illumination ring? Maybe the game engine can't do it. There goes a skimmer again. Look, there's definitely things in there. I wonder why they bothered putting things like that in there when nobody's ever going to go inside. I suppose the other question is there any indication of an airlock anywhere? Can't see one in the wall. You thought somewhere there'd be a way in. Does this path go anywhere? This looks like it's a circular path. It doesn't appear to go anywhere, does it? There's no in. It's sort of got some wiggly lines to a central section, and that's kind of it. I mean, it looks good. If you were a real farmer, you'd have a new John Deere and a very old non-working Ferguson. Could be sprinklers, yeah. So there's a cool suspended walk. Yes, is that the walkway sort of around the edge there? There is, isn't it? So if we just stare down and have a look at that, that's quite cool. Yeah, it is, isn't it? And that's the walkway there, which goes all the way around on the inside. It's quite nicely done, isn't it? It just shame, you know, a little bit of love. They obviously haven't got too much in terms of polygon count or something, presumably they have to manage. It looks better at a distance than it does close up, but it's quite nice, the fact that it's there. Is it just... it does... Yeah, look at it shining in light. It does look like cling film, doesn't it? It's interesting given that the force field in front of the space stations is a force field. Clearly, ships have got to go in that. But everything else, a lot of other things in the Elite Dangerous universe are a bit more mundane. It does just look like cling film, doesn't it? Shining in the light. There's obviously, well, presumably that's some sort of atmospheric pressure in there for the plants to exist. So we've got a nice view of the Milky Way. Oh, there's a bit of planet, but not very much. I thought we had the planet in view when we plotted this base. Maybe I got it wrong. All we're getting is an edge-on view of the rings, which in itself is quite pretty, but it'd be nice if the planet was there as well. But hey, what can you do? So what else can we get to on foot? I didn't realise there was that sort of double jump thing. Now, of course, I don't know where my SRV is. Where is my SRV? Oh, it's up there. There it is. It's in that direction. Right, off we go. Let's have another wander around some else. Climbing the tower. Well, I mean, we need to... Let's just... I can't switch on night vision because that's something I have to unlock, isn't it? Whatever our boots are made of is very good because, I mean, I just thought... because this is quite steep coming down here, isn't it? You should really not be able to just walk directly down here. There we go. I'm sliding at a certain point in time. There we go. Nice enough. Right, all aboard. Let's have another look in the night vision. Yeah, I'd like to have a look around the actual insides now, but that was pretty good, being able to do that. Oh, Cyberdarmy needs a lift. So what else have we got? So there's another geodesic dome over there, which is nice. Look, there's a connecting tube there. There's this the main basic bit. So that does connect. Is that how you get in and out of those? That's quite nice. Oh, so theoretically there would be a way across. So being a bit of a geek with these sort of things, this is exactly the sort of things I do when I'm in an airport and I've got time to kill. I wander around, see where I can get to. I've occasionally ended up in places where I'm not supposed to be, which is frowned upon by airport personnel, just so you're aware. But sometimes you get to see things that you didn't expect to see. Let's have a look up here. Do my double jump thing, see if I can get up on top of that. There we go. Must have did this, isn't it? Right. So we're up here for starters. So what have we got here? This is like a access tube. Look, yeah, the rest of you are joining me as well. Which is quite nice. So that allows us to walk across there. So these don't look like they don't really look like tunnels that you're designed to walk along, do they? They look more like sort of source or water source pipes to me. They're sort of going into there, aren't they? Anything on the inside here? Doesn't look like there is. So they sort of go in and maybe just feed some stuff. Okay. Doesn't really go anywhere. It's quite cool that we can walk around the space station exterior like this anyway. This is recording where the hidden alien creature gets you. It does have that vibe, doesn't it? Okay, what else can we see out here? Okay. AD12 pin mod unit. Okay, so that's... This looks like a really modern version of Lloyd's building, that does. The tower is huge. I mean, this is quite impressive considering that we ferried all the materials for this to be built. Shame we can't watch the actual construction underway, but I suppose that'd be too much. That is a big old thing, isn't it? Or someone's lighting up for us. Thank you very much for that. For that, it's got a good sort of sci-fi. Presumably the local security forces aren't too bothered by people running around on the outside of the buildings. I mean, I think if I tried to do that at Gatwick Airport, that would probably be frowned upon. Okay, so I'm with heading over there. There we go. Nice. Quite cool that we can jet around the outside like this. It'd be a great place to play laser tag, wouldn't it? Climb up the side there, and he's now sliding back down. Excellent. It's a very, very, very big area. Leslie Graham has got some nasty weather rolling in, so he's going to have to log. Take it easy, my friend. Hope the weather is not too outrageous. That's just down, isn't it? Is that like a control tower or something? What's that over there? Is that a ship? Looks like a ship. Yeah, it's sort of sneaky around like when you're a teenager. Can we go there? Well, nothing's actually stopping us. If they didn't mean us to go here, then it wouldn't have made it easy for us to get in, would they? That's sort of logic. Oh look, there's some windows over here. What kind of look like windows? I think they're designed to look like windows from the outside, aren't they? Oh look, there's pad 07 over there. That's quite cool. So look, yeah, they're sort of designed to look like windows from a distance. They're kind of not. Can we actually jump onto a pad? This tower is a big place, isn't it? Yeah, it's quite impressive. Oh, there's a glowy thing. Yeah. Cool stuff. Complete. Right, what's pad 7 now? It's a bit of road, let's walk up there. Yep. Be conscious because we're going to have to wave to walk back. So is this where you bring the SRVs back in? It is, isn't it? So I should really go and walk back to the SRV because it's going to be a lot quicker than just walking around generally, isn't it? Where's my SRV? Should we go back and get the SRVs and use that? Because I think that's going to be a lot faster. Just waiting for the guy in the Mandalay overhead to land us. Let's go back this way, guys. Let's pick up the SRVs, which might be on the other side of this building now. Big base, this, isn't it? And on tonight's stream, Rue walks her out. around this corner here. It's also literally my character is running out of breath. I think I'm right in saying that this is where the SRVs were parked. I hope so. Why it's not hopelessly lost. Anybody remember where we passed? Are they around the corner still? We went around that corner as well, did we? Didn't we? I had no idea you could take your SUV out of the base. Yeah, it's quite good that you can drive around the base. I quite like that effect. I mean, you can obviously drive off into the distance. Yeah, I'm sort of aiming at the SRV. The trouble is there's buildings in the way. That's the problem. My SRV is just up ahead there with lights. Running and I thrust, then obviously the conservation momentum happens, doesn't it? Sort of makes sense. So I appear to be able to change direction in mid-air, which is just slightly weird. But anyway, there we go. Right, let's go up that road. So then at least we can also use the night vision when I'm inside the SRV, which I can't on so this one. So there's a Mandalay. Where was that? Was that? Where was Galnet? There's Pad 07. Let's see if we can. There's the entrance there, so let's see if we can stand on Pad 07. Pad 07 is. Oh, yeah, that would have got. Pad 07 is up here on the left. Just park here. Can we just. Is that the pad? Yeah, there's the pad. This is like a cattle grid here. Careful walking across that, my friend. That's the one shield. So what? There we go. Okay, the pad's actually lit up. Does that mean there's a ship coming? What happens if we're on the pad when it tries to rotate? Is somebody going to actually land on pad 7? Is that the rotatey bit there? Yeah, there's a ship coming in. Oh, there's a Mandalay parked above us. Okay, so this will let this. There's a Mandalay coming down. Is it? This is where you're testing it. I wouldn't stand there, my friend. Who's that? Commander Pac-Man, you might want to back it up a little bit. Okay, he's down. What happens now? Okay, so you're down. Commander Wagar is down with us. We're on the pad. What happens if he tries to drop us into the... Ah! Oh, there's a force field. Look at that. I didn't know. Oh, well, they thought about it. There's a force field. And then the pad pops. Oh. That's genuinely actually quite cool. I have therefore discovered something new about Elite Dangerous that I did not know. There is a force field over the pad entrance. presumably to stop the atmosphere escaping every time it drops down. So it must be the force field is literally just above the physical level of the pad, so that you're technically standing on the force field as the ship goes down, which stops the air leaking out when you're changing it. And force field, we have confirmed force fields are strong enough to walk on. Yeah, there we go. We've done some actual science this evening. That was your Mandalay. You can come up again. Yeah, it'd be nice to see if you come back up at pad 7. Let's see you do that. See if you can come back up, and let's see if it reappears. Oh, there we go. Yeah, the force field. So there it goes. It goes and selects the ship. Out pops Mandalay, and off it comes. What happens if she's in the middle of it? What happened? What happened to the guy who was running across the pad as the ship came up? Is he still there? Now they're all stopping on top of the Mandalay. If Eridan Dundragon takes off now, then this will... Oh, as the ship goes down, it leaves me suspended on a force field. So the force field is extremely smart. It can differentiate between humans and spaceships, which is actually quite clever. Well, that's it, Andy P783. The real question is, why does the ship pass through the force field, but I don't? I mean, how? I mean, if a shield can stop a ship from taking damage, you say a force field can't hold us. I mean, it makes sense. It does make sense. And it explains hovering rocks. Yes, so it's force fields. So we now know something of... And interesting enough, the force field looks like a sort of hologram, doesn't it? It's like lots of little dots. Oh, there we go, my friends. We have learnt something about the Elite Dangerous Universe this evening on live on stream. That was actually pretty cool. Right, where is my SRV? We need to get back for space beers. Actually, look at the time. We haven't literally done anything other than ask about on the space station this evening and be awful, but that's pretty much normality really for my stream, isn't it? Not gonna make that one. Oh, nope. Yes. There you go. That sort of blast shield thing. Shows you how big those pads are, doesn't it? There's the cattle grids. No space cows. Sort of low resolution shields, yeah. Let's go around that. Find our way back down. These roads do make for a good racetrack. There's an idea, yes. We could have a little go, couldn't we? What do you think? Is it just a square? Is it just a square sort of? It's all. Is it sort of just a? Oh, I forget. Square sort of thing. What's that at the end there? What's the central skin? Okay, let's go for a little. Let's go for a little chuckle around the roads while we're here. Why not? Oops. That's a good sign. Continue to lights on. Brakes. Plenty of grip here. Needs some curves, doesn't it? I can see far up ahead. At some horrendous distance. Can't do. Support on the side of it. Yeah, not the best racetracks, but it's all works. Where does that? Is that? Oh, that's back to the beginning. There we go. Okay, so okay then. So where's the? How do we locate? So if I've got to ask for docking permission to get back into. Where actually is that? So if I request docking permission, can I request? Where's it done? Here? Oh, request boarding. Here we are.
Boarding permission granted.
Okay. Proceed to garage. Is that where that thing's pointing? Take that. Okay. Where's the garage bit? How do I... It's not a garage, that's somebody's ship. It's Command Top Shot ship. Where's the garage? How do I locate the garage? Oh, my ship's parked in the hangar though, isn't it? So how do... It says proceed to garage, but how do... Follow the blue dot. Which blue dot? I assumed it was on the compass. It's not. The compass seems to be... What's the compass looked onto? On the left panel. Yeah. That seems to be pointing me in this direction. Oh, no, there it is. It was the compass.
Ship ready for boarding.
Okay, so what do I do now? Board? Board. Oh, there we go. Cool. Ah dear. Boomers tend to forget where they're part of the ship, but us Gen X guys, no, we're good. Nice. Okay, so that's back inside the hangar, back where my ship is. Okay, interesting. I wonder if there's a like a meeting at FDev every so often where when new features come out and they basically say, okay, what about this? What about that? Oh, we need to have on foot stuff. Ah, excellent idea. Do you reckon there's a team that's tasked with the okay? What happens if players try and do this? Oh, okay. Well, we'll put a wall there then. Yeah, but what happens if they try and stand on this? Oh, we'll put a force field in there then. What happens if they try and climb inside? Oh well, we'll block that off. Put a thing in the play. There must be, maybe that just is the play testing part of it. There must be a job inside FDev, which is what crazy stuff are the players going to try and do that will break the game and stop it. Be real, Drew, is FDev we're talking about. But somebody thought about that force field, didn't they? I'm actually quite impressed by that. I thought it would just break, or it would fall down and we'd die, or we just hover in midair inexplicably. But actually, there was a force field there, so you know, I'm quite impressed by that. Props to whoever it was in FDev who put a force field in there. The thing is, the problem with the design in my head is it feels like it's slightly over-engineered, doesn't it? I mean. Maybe force field emitters are really cheap in the Elite Dangerous universe. It's like, oh, we'll just have a force field emitter. In which case, if they're super cheap, why do you have glass and bits of perspex and stuff? Why not just have force fields everywhere? You know, and then we have, in some places we have airlocks, and some places we have pads that go up and down. And the interesting thing is that the air is preserved, isn't it? Because where we get off our ships, it appears that we can walk around. Can we? Actually, that's a good question. Can we walk around in the hangar areas without our helmets on? So is that a pressurized environment? I think it is, isn't it? Glass doesn't let the air out if you have a power outage. I suppose that's a fair point. Well, there's a few upstanding folks. Let's head down to the bar and let's get the backdrop in, because that does look pretty cool. So you guys hang around in front of the backdrop, and I'll go. Oh, there you go. You can be famous on stream. There we go. Look at you guys. Yeah, that's what we need. Well done. Look at those top gents. I salute you. Excellent stuff. Commander Pac-Man, shuffle to your right slightly. Oh, and whoever that is off the side. Right, everyone shuffle to the right slightly. Yeah, Commander Magic Joe. There we go. Everyone's Squeeze in with the camera. Everybody say cheese. Power alarm, glass is not. I suppose that's true. It's always transparent aluminium. It probably is something like that, isn't it? We salute our brave hooligans. I mean, explorers. Well, we did learn things. I didn't know there was an actual force field over the pads, so that's something we have actually discovered. It definitely keeps the air in, because if you catch an apex taxi, you can watch it leave without getting sucked out of the gap when the pad opens. Yeah, I suppose that's true. And you occasionally do see a little puff of air, don't you? Commanders are bi-generating is what's going on. So yes, anyway, that's brilliant. Anyway, my friends, thank you very much for what was an excellently entertaining stream. We actually learned some stuff and a little bit of exploration of our new star base, so that's all good stuff. I shall be back again next Wednesday. I think I've got a feeling Monday this coming week is a bank holiday, so I may not be streaming on Monday. I will let you know. But otherwise, it will be next Wednesday for more Elite Dangerous. And take it easy, my friends. And as always, of course, right on, Commanders. Be good. I will see you anon. Thank you very much, folks. Appreciate you all watching the stream and taking part in the shenanigans this evening. Thank you very much indeed. Be good. See you next week.